This has the potential to be one of the highlight reel fights of the night. Jimmy Foster holds maybe the best knockout in PFC history. Kyle Prepelic might have something to say about that. Against Michael Guermoudi, who takes this fight on short notice and said, yeah, why not?
And they're both, closing in on 40. Jimmy is 40. They're both rugged, tough guys. They're going to bring the best out of each other, just like Jimmy's last fight with Chris, this one's going to be a lot of fun. And they both weigh about 200 pounds. Like it's a great, perfectly matched fight.
Yeah, this is the one that I think a lot of people had circled coming in that could be the big one. All three of Jimmy Foster's professional wins have come unsurprisingly by knockout. Yeah. And Michael Guermoudi, 3-1 as an amateur. I know 0-1 as a pro, but 2 of his 3 amateur wins came by form of knockout.
In the next fight of the evening, please welcome in the blue corner, Michael Guermoudi.
So sometimes, we talk about fighting, and it's poetic, and it's elegant, and it's beautiful, and sometimes it's kind of vulgar. Right? This can be a vulgar fight. This can be a vulgar fight.
And considering we just saw the beauty of fighting in Amanda Lovato and Isabelle Lacroix, is it not poetic that we follow it up with 2 guys who are coming to knock each other's heads somewhere towards Brent?
Yes. Some things, the bigger that you get also, the easier it is for the eye to see. It's moved slightly slower. The weapons and the humans are larger. So this is a fistful of crayons kind of drawing. You know what I mean? And, people enjoy fights like this. And I think these 2 will enjoy it, too, regardless of how it goes.
15 years of judo and kickboxing each for Michael the Mad Scientist Guermoudi. And he got that name. His coaches gave it to him because of the way he has blended his judo and his kickboxing. He's a scary athlete when he's got it all going.
Yeah, and that is an odd, it's a less common blend, but hey man, like the fighting exists based on the building blocks that you put into your learning, and then you blend it all, and everybody expresses fighting different. It's an individual thing.
Michael Guermoudi is a towering individual, 6'2" officially, and that might have been crouching. He's going to have a significant height
and in the red
and
corner,
advantage.
Jimmy Foster.
But Jimmy Foster, take the height, take the reach, take experience, take whatever you want, throw it out the window. He just does not care.
Yeah, he likes to go in and throw bombs and fight. And he was tired when he knocked out Chris with that spinning back fist. And I did a breakdown of it, and I shared it on my platform.
Which was fantastic, by the way.
Thank you. And on Fights platforms, and a lot of people were like, that was luck, or that was random, or he was surprised. If you go back and actually watch the whole fight, he set it up a few times, and in fact got closer and closer each time. The spinning back, that was, I believe, the 3rd he threw in that fight. The 2nd one caught glove, and the 3rd one caught chin. And it was set up purposefully with the same hand offered. So it's much more complex than it looks when you got big, tired men doing it.
10 years of Muay Thai along with jiu-jitsu and wrestling backgrounds for Jimmy Foster. He's got 8 fights as a professional, Robin, but his path to PFC 16 is littered with fights that do not exist on his record or any record.
Yes, it's true. And look at him. He is what you think he is, but he is a little smarter than you think he is, and he's a little more sophisticated than you think he is. Yep. But a lot of the other things you're thinking right now, true. You do not want to run into Jimmy Foster in the yard. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to run into Jimmy Foster anywhere, and he likes me.
Yeah, he's actually quite a sweet guy. He really is. But he knows what he was put here to do, and he's coming to do it. And Michael's going to oblige him, man. He's happy to oblige.
Both of these gentlemen started into martial arts training to keep themselves out of trouble. And both of them are proud to say it worked.
And it does work. And we've heard that a few times tonight, and we've heard that on many shows. Almost every show, there's someone who, as a youngster or a young man or woman, did that. And fighting it changes who you are. Not only do you get to let it out in the gym or in the professional environment, but it changes you. You learn humility. You learn to look for your flaws and try to find ways to improve yourself. Fighting is, by its very nature, a search for weaknesses and a desire to constantly improve. And that starts to apply to all areas of your life.
Jimmy Foster makes that step into the cage. And there was a personality shift as he got to those stairs, Robin. There was almost an expression that left, and Jungle just took over.
Yeah, and Jungle is going to go full Jungle here. He did shake his opponent's hand, and they did both look at each other like we're about to share something pretty crazy, and they are, and we
Ladies
all
and gentlemen,
are in
this
our
next
own
fight
way.
is brought to you by Pumper 12 Irish Whiskey. It is in the PFC light heavyweight division. It'll be contested over 3 5-minute rounds. The man in charge of the action when it starts inside the cage is Mr. Brian Beauchamp. And now first, introducing in the blue corner, fighting out of Brampton, Ontario, representing Dog Pound MMA. He stands 6'2". He would in at 198.8 pounds, has a professional record of 0 wins, 1 loss. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it from Michael Mad Scientist Guermoudi. And in the red corner, fighting out of London, Ontario, representing London Muay Thai. He stands 5'11". He would in at 199.6 pounds, has a professional record of 3 wins, 4 losses, with 1 draw and 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Jimmy Jungle Foster.
Oh, Robin, what are we going to see here with Guermoudi in the black, Foster in the red? This is going to be a blast.
One thing about Jungle Jim, see what's going on there?
Yep.
About Jungle Jimmy is when fatigued, he's still super dangerous. And that's a heart thing. That's a drive thing, right? That's a want thing.
And they come right out to the middle of the cage. They engage. Foster goes to the body. Guermoudi trying to front kick him back.
And that's smart, yeah. When you kick up the middle like that, you see Jordan Meehan later tonight. He uses that kick very well. You sort of clear the table, right? It's like flipping a table over in a gunfight. And all of a sudden, everybody clears out, and you can fire off some bullets. So this will be, wow.
Whoa!
Big Jimmy takes down the judo practitioner.
The cage moved 6 inches.
Yeah, and it was loud. And there's a lot of smiles on the faces of the big dudes in the back that I believe are all related to Jimmy.
They're going to be happy with that as he gets to side control. Michael Guermoudi, he's not opposed to being on his back. He knows how to work from this position as he throws an elbow to the side of the body.
Yeah, so why, you'll look and you'll think, why isn't Jimmy using hammer fists and elbows? He actually can feel that his man is going to threaten to regard and that he could be dangerous even from this spot, advancing or reversing, right?
Jimmy trying to work his way to a more advantageous position as Guermoudi looking to escape.
Watch Guermoudi's right knee. The second there's sunlight there, he's going to try to work his right knee back in. That's probably what Jimmy feels, why he's staying so tight.
Guermoudi threatening with that elbow and kind of slides his way to his left side.
Yeah, so that's the game where you're a mad scientist, because most people tell you don't do that, but he's doing it out of experience. So he knows he's playing games here that work outside of the typical, advice of your jiu-jitsu black belt. And it's an interesting game that he's playing.
It feels like he's trying to bait Jimmy Foster into something to give him an opening.
That is one of the possibilities here. He's doing things that work for him that don't work for many. And Jimmy can sense it. That's why he's moving slow here.
And Jimmy Foster showing, as you were talking about, Robin, great restraint here. He's not getting out ahead of himself. He's not giving an opening. He is staying tight, trying to go knee on belly, and Guermoudi used that opportunity to pop up a bit.
Yeah, and Guermoudi's going to stand up. Yes, he is. Now you got to watch for Jimmy's knee here the second you stand. Jimmy's attacking the neck.
Standing guillotine.
Yeah.
He's got it in a great position. Guermoudi trying to hold on.
Now he can burn out his arms here. And
now they'll go up top.
Jimmy's mouth guard is a little out here. Oh, fastball. Jimmy's got his mouth guard out here. If you hit him on the jaw at this time, that'll give him a little extra shock.
Yeah, Jimmy wanted that one over the top. Guermoudi swings to the outside. Foster, he's setting up for that big right.
You got to watch out for that spin, too.
I was just going to say, Robin, it was the same stance he came with the spin out of.
Yep.
Clubbing with the left. Guermoudi digs with the knee.
Yes, an excellent knee. And Jimmy answers. Guermoudi's going to look for a toss here. No, Jimmy smartly goes in behind and destabilizes him.
Boy, and you can hear those knees connect.
Yeah, you don't want to hang out here very long if you're a 200-pounder.
Uppercut by Guermoudi. 1.5 left in the opening round.
Guermoudi's settling in nicely now. Jimmy, that mouth guard out, nobody likes to see that, man. When you get hit like that, with that mouth guard out, the jaw can really jack, and the coup contre coup injury is a little more possible.
Yeah, Foster connects with the left jab there.
That's Foster's cleanest shot so far.
Hey, you're right, Robin. I'm a little surprised Brian Beauchamp hasn't said something about the mouth guard.
Yeah, I am too.
Left over the top. It's like two big bulls colliding.
Oh, man.
Guermoudi swinging heavy as he walks him to the cage.
Smart for Guermoudi. Every time he goes with the knee to the body, you can also fatigue your man a little bit. And the attacking of the organs like that can slow a guy down. You know, obviously we've seen it. You can shut a guy off or shut a person off, but you can also start to really fatigue him. And Big Jimmy, when he slows down a little bit, still dangerous, like we said, but you can see everything coming a little more.
Foster has that right hand loose, but Guermoudi keeping him locked up to the cage as Foster presses in. Now Foster, he tried the right coming out of it, ended up with his back turn. Guermoudi runs him down.
Foster's been jarred a little bit here. Yeah, that mouth guard, you're right. You know, a lot of refs are going to tell you, keep that in there.
10 seconds left in the opening round. Came and went, and Jimmy Foster will head back to his corner. I wonder if Brian Beauchamp is going to say something about it there.
Hopefully his own corner does, too. You don't want that out. Never mind the teeth, which is an expensive proposition. It increases your likelihood of being neurologically affected from punches.
Yeah, ask anybody who's ever taken a hockey stick to the chops how expensive those can be.
Yeah.
Michael Guermoudi looks like he's a little bit fresher at the end of the first round.
Yeah, he's also settled in. You know, you can't speak for him, but it would not surprise you to imagine that he had nerves in the beginning here. Looking over at Jimmy, all wound up and intense. You know, he saw that spinning back fist. Obviously, we don't want to be thinking about that. But now that he's settled into the fight, none of those thoughts are there. It's all just the fight now.
I believe Guermoudi took this fight on about 2 weeks' notice.
He's the perfect guy for it. He's the right size. He is a similar age. And he's a tough assignment because he's different. And different in fighting, different is hard.
Yeah, Jimmy Foster does bring that mouth guard back in as Guermoudi steps out with a kick to the body and then throws that front kick.
Yep. And again, smart. Let's slow this big man down. This is a dangerous dude. He throws hard, commits to those punches. You want to see them coming. And if you can slow him, you know, in fighting, space is time, right? The more space you have, the more time the brain has to process these big punches right here.
He clipped him, did Foster, with that right hand, but a knee responding from Guermoudi.
So he's down now into it. Now watch for the spinning back fist again. Remember, he sets it up with throws the right hand and then spins with the right knuckles. But the kicks to the body are a smart idea when you're the taller, longer man.
I think one of the things about Foster and in this fight about Guermoudi is you just don't know what the other one's going to do. They both are very unorthodox.
Yes, you're right. You're 100% right. And there was a time that we all trained the same way. You got to punch this way, move this way, make sure you do X. Now complexity and variety actually is really king. Being different than training partners is important, and they're both so different. Huge knee. Another knee coming.
Guermoudi keeps digging in with those. That one was to the jawline. Foster went right through it.
Foster's best moments have been those two throws. You know, 3.5 minutes, a long time to stay on top.
How tough is Jimmy Foster? He just took a knee to the chin and used it to throw for a takedown.
Yeah, it jarred him, and then, just collected it and used it to lift him up.
Foster digging in hard to the body.
So now remember, Foster was in cross side, and it was, for lack of a less technical thing, it was weird, right? Michael was a little weird in his responses, and that actually made it tough for Jimmy to move. Jimmy's now sitting on half guard, so you can sit on that thigh and get a little more control maybe.
A position that especially wrestlers who transition to MMA really like.
Sometimes they really do, yeah. And the goal is to pin the right thigh and the left shoulder, or in this case, jaw, like Jimmy is. And that diagonal or contralateral control is what lets you stretch the man out. And Jimmy's looking to do that. His forearm to pin the left side and his body weight to pin the right hip. And then he can keep a hand free and bludgeon with it.
That forearm almost operating as a choke as well.
Yeah, it forces you to move, too. You know, there was a time when I was recalling, Pancrase from 2001, 2002. Fighters used to grip the shoulder, so the left hand would grip Michael's right shoulder and then drive down with the forearm. And that's kind of an old school move that Jimmy's using. You see it again a little bit.
I'm sure this will surprise you, but I watched every one of those.
Yeah, they were really fun to do. Hundreds we did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a blessing to have the network. As Guermoudi trying to slide his head out of the way. Foster just standing right on top. There is a trickle of blood coming from, I believe, over the eye of Guermoudi.
Yeah, and Foster's rough and tumbling him here. He's little brothering him just a bit, grinding, and he's winning this round now, right? He's not doing the most that he is possible to be done, but he's doing a lot more from the top position like that than Michael is from the bottom.
That elbow was definitely something.
Yeah, it's something.
And
it all hurts down here. It's grinding and ornery. You hear him snorting and probably growling.
More than likely.
Yeah, more than likely.
As Foster, every time he's able to get a little bit of space to throw that elbow around, that's 200 pounds coming straight down.
Yeah. With big ornery commitment.
55 left in round 2.
We're not tasked with scoring the fight, but it is possible Michael won round 1. Especially near the end of that round, he was doing a lot. Jimmy's definitely, with 40 seconds left, he's taking control of round 2. He's got a hammerlock of some kind, or a kimura of some kind. I can't quite see it.
It's hard to tell. Yeah. Now he's trying to straighten that arm out.
Yeah, now you can pin that. Right hand to, and smash from here.
And Foster really committing on those elbows, then followed it up with the right hand.
And then covering the mouth, which is mean, but, we're fighting.
Exactly.
It's all mean.
Well, you said a fight that could be a bit vulgar.
Yeah, and it is.
Yeah.
Jimmy's, it looked that his right eye was a little closed, but he might have just been resting for lack of another.
We come to the end of round 2 with Jimmy Foster in the top position and Michael Guermoudi, who had to survive 3.5 minutes on the bottom.
So it's actually it is swelling over Jimmy's eye. I was like, it looks like he's closed his eye, but it is actually swelling. And there are the shots that he did. I settled into that top position, stayed super patient. There's the knee, that one, and you're right. He literally digested that knee and then grabbed the thigh.
That was incredible. Jimmy Foster showing a lot of guts to be able to pull that off.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to find where the knee is, but when it's just hit your chin, you know where it is. You know where his leg is, like it's right here. It's on my mouth.
There was no mistaking that.
Yeah. You hear the sound in your head when it hits. It's kind of a wet crunch. It's a terrible sound.
Oh. Yeah, it's not appealing in the slightest. I was trying to pick up, Robin, where the blood on Guermoudi was coming from. And it looked like it was coming around the eye. Yeah. But I don't see anything open just at the moment.
No, they both look clean. Could be around a piece now.
Oh, you know what? It's right under the corner of Guermoudi's eye.
Oh, yeah, and he rubbed it a little bit, too. Oh, Guermoudi comes out with a couple of shots.
Jimmy Foster, if that swelling continues on the eye, that could put him into a tough position.
Yeah, it affects your peripheral and it affects your depth perception. There's a couple of hard, ornery shots from Michael.
Foster, we know what he's going to try to set up. He's going to look for that, as you said, the fastball.
Yeah, Guermoudi's kicks have been the most effective things, the kicks to the body. That has been his best tool.
Both these men running into a bit of exhaustion here, and they've both got to be really feeling it. It's been 2 rounds of heavy action.
Now remember when Jimmy got that spinning back fist knockout, he had all the anecdotal signs of fatigue, hands on the hips, all of it, open mouth, everything. And he still was able to land a vicious knockout. So he is dangerous all the way through.
When you train consistently to do that, Robin, even if you're tired, you're still dangerous.
Yeah, and there's a type of athlete. Oh.
The left that time connected. Foster sizing him up.
Yep.
Guermoudi countered with a knee.
Yeah, Guermoudi saw it coming in, and now he's got some knees going. Some athletes train in exhaustion purposefully for this reason. Other athletes train to never be exhausted. Both work. Both are important.
It felt like in that exchange, Guermoudi felt like he had one opportunity. As Foster came in, he brought that knee up, stopped him on a dime, and changed the momentum, at least for now.
Oh, there's a sliding inside knee.
Oh, that one ate up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you feel that. And Foster felt Guermoudi on one leg. Foster, like I said, is a lot smarter than I think people are guessing.
Oh, that right hand rocked him.
Yeah, he felt that.
And Guermoudi staying right in.
3 minutes left.
Guermoudi looks like he might be a little wobbly still, Robin.
It's a good time to throw that spinning back fist.
Yeah, if Jimmy Foster's going to go for it, this may be the moment. Testing a little bit with the jab was Guermoudi, who comes right back in with a knee.
You got to think, and Jimmy landed a left hand but kind of got spun around a little.
I think he took a left from Guermoudi in the exchange.
Yes, he did. He landed one, but then as he was spinning, he ate one. Now remember, Jimmy's got 3 very impactful takedowns, or 2, and he's looking for number 3.
And as we get further into this third round, 2:12 to go in it, those takedowns can become big in the minds of the judges.
Yeah, if you're on top for the final 2 minutes of a close round, that's a round you're going to win. Really, if you're really paying attention to this, Guermoudi through 3 minutes, I think, has done more, landed more cleanly, landed a couple of really, noticeable, impactful knees, right? But if he gets taken down again, he's looking for the choke here. He can knee now. That knee is free. The left knee is free.
Let's see if Guermoudi locates it. He brings it back.
There it is.
And loaded it in. Foster stepping his way forward, pressing Guermoudi to the cage. Foster trying to throw everything he can to get Guermoudi down.
90 seconds remaining.
And both of these guys are just exhausted. Absolute warriors. Yeah. Guermoudi taking this fight on short notice, and they have not disappointed.
Yeah, that's true. That's crazy. And you're taking a fight that you know is going to be a hard, grueling style fight, and it is. That was a lot of work, and he didn't get it.
Yep. Imagine that. You get a phone call if you're Michael Guermoudi 2 weeks out. Hey, you want to fight? Sure, who is it? Jimmy Foster. Yeah, let me in.
Yeah, let's do it. So Guermoudi's got to be heavy here, and Jimmy, they both go down.
Oh! Uppercut lands! And Foster goes flying for the right hand!
That's a lunatic. That's a 200-pound man in the final 40 seconds throwing his body through the air.
I haven't seen something like that since Henderson on Bisping.
Yeah, what a lunatic. That can be the difference. So he was able to get enough of the takedown that they're both scrambling and be aware enough in the moments to land the punch with his man partially down. That might be enough. It's a really close round now.
That uppercut sent a shockwave through the system of Michael Guermoudi. 10 seconds left in this fight. Does anybody have a Hail Mary left? Guermoudi trying to pepper from the bottom. We saw that effective
Yes.
in Imperato to
Yes.
Oliver.
Yes.
And we come to a close in a wild one.
Those two dudes came out here and did everything they intended to do and brought the best out of each other. And they are going to sleep well tonight.
Oh, I would really hope so. Exhausted but warrior-like effort from both Jimmy Foster and Michael Guermoudi. Does that uppercut in the third round draw enough?
They just showed it, yeah. It resulted in Guermoudi falling back down. Doesn't mean it was as true a knockdown because he could choose to sit back to guard, but a visual of it made it look like it was. And it maybe is enough, you know. We shall see.
The judges will have the decision on this one. We said, Robin, that Guermoudi might have done enough late in round one to take it. Rounds 2 and 3. Round 2, definitely Foster. How do they look at round 3? Guermoudi had a lot of great work early in it. Foster late. Is it the lasting impression at the end?
Well, that uppercut was the biggest punch of the round and really the fight, probably. And that can, in a close fight, yeah, that could make the difference. They're just humans. 3 humans educated in how to score it to the best of their ability. But that punch, we all saw it, and it was very, very, the visual of it is going to stay with you when you're judging.
That visual was very impactful as Robin Black heads into the cage. And we will go to Keith Crawford, who has the judges' scorecards momentarily, as it seems like there has been an extended deliberation over the numbers in this one. And how did the judges come out of this fight, seeing especially round 3? That had to be the toughest of the rounds to judge. Guermoudi had a ton of advantage early in round 3. Foster answered back late, and I imagine that is what is causing the delay in terms of adding up the scores. That round had to be so difficult to come out decisively with. And yeah, there is a lot of talk over the scores for this fight. Both Guermoudi and Foster believe that they have done enough to win this fight. And both, I think, rightfully have a case. As Keith Crawford now has the judges' scorecards, we'll go back into the cage to the best in the business, Keith Crawford.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges score this fight 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision. In the red corner, James Foster.
Thanks, guys, for a great fight. Jimmy, come talk to me. Jimmy Foster. That was, you come out here and you work hard, man. You're pushed to the limit in these fights. You're 40 years old and you're out here fighting tough dudes. You got to be happy with tonight.
Yes, sir.
That fight was closer than the cards said. He had a great first round. Third round was close. That one uppercut at that one moment, that was key.
He's crazy tough and like, wow. It's crazy honor to be in there and push that hard, and thank you to the Dog Pound MMA in Brampton.
Woo! I know you got to thank your people and tell us how you're feeling.
I'm feeling very good. I'm working hard. Thank you everybody for coming out and fucking being a part of the MMA community and the good healthy lifestyle that we live in.
At 40 years old, living healthy, how long can you fight for?
Hopefully for a long time still. And I just want to say thank you. You're an awesome commentator. All the people here one more time. London, Toronto. Woo! I love you.
Jimmy, enjoy your night. Your winner, Jimmy Foster.
The scorecards say jungle. Unanimous decision, 30-27. As Robin said in the cage, that fight was closer than the scorecards would indicate, but Jimmy Foster comes away with the victory.